Welcome to Codex 2020. I'm Connie Brenton. I'm Chief of Staff and Director of Legal Operations at NetApp. I'm coming to you live tonight from my living room. I'm speaking today on digital transformation and the path forward. Never before has digital transformation been so critical and so personal. As of 2020, we're not in Kansas anymore, Toto. The COVID pandemic has changed our world, including all of our work. This is the new normal, and even when the lockdowns are over, the old normal isn't coming back. Digital transformation is not optional anymore. It is part of our DNA. It is part of how we will work from here forward. Digital transformation is also no longer just a business priority. It's a critical step for civilization to survive and civilization to stay connected. As businesses make the shift, every single day counts. The stakes are high for getting it right. Cost containment is more critical than ever. You can't afford to do it poorly, and you certainly can't afford to wait. For legal, the old priority of guarding the business is now shared between guarding the business and guiding the business, helping the business navigate safely and efficiently, and to enable the business on a continuous basis. Legal now has a seat at the table with our business partners, and the business is looking to legal to provide guidance on not just the law, but on process improvement, process redesign, and enabling the business under this brand new normal. There's also an ethical imperative to get it right because we can't put this genie back in the bottle. AI or intelligent automated systems have rules baked into them, and consciously or unconsciously, these rules reflect the values and biases of those who design the system. Some of you are probably already part of the effort to engineer systems that don't inadvertently favor some people over others, or at least you've heard about the efforts. And we all recognize that the need for blind justice and thoughtful application of rules, including the rule of law, is as meaningful today as ever. The legal ecosystem is looking to groups like Codex to help address issues just like these as the world becomes increasingly digital and increasingly complex. I hope that many of you find these challenges interesting and exciting, because now we can really make a difference that will reach far beyond the legal world. The journey is going to be tough on some people. There's been work done on the lawyer personality by Dr. Larry Richards, who's identified a whole set of certain specific common personality traits among lawyers. Consider the differences between a stereotypical lawyer and a stereotypical business person. Low risk tolerance, high risk tolerance. Looks for precedents, looks for new things. Likes to win debates, likes win-win deals. Focused on right and wrong, focused on profit and loss. It's easy to see how difficult it can be for lawyers and their business customers to relate, even when things are business as usual. I didn't label which column is which because I never have had a person not be able to guess. The qualities that legal teams need in 2020 have not actually changed, but with COVID, they've been accelerated and they have also become non-optional. They have always, however, been inevitable for the legal industry to thrive, and we have been seeing enormous change within just the last 5 to 10 years. As you'll note, technical excellence and terrific client interface aren't on the list because they're table stakes. You'll also notice that natural curiosity, which once was at the top of this list, has now been moved down the priority a bit during the COVID pandemic and when adaptability is so critical. After we get over the hump, however, we'll need to make everything, all of these qualities, more integrated and smooth out those rough edges. So where's legal in this journey? As my friend Liam Brown has summed it up, from Elevate Services. 50 years ago, all legal departments were paper, all phones had cords, the internet didn't exist, the majority of lawyers didn't type, and the only way to search case law was in books. As of 2 years ago, 95%, which I also still think is a low percentage, of all lawyers were using smartphones for work. Two things are true simultaneously. One, compared to our counterparts in business, legal's been playing catch up. We are the last frontier. We are the last to digitize our industry. Consider that technology-assisted review, circa 2010, is more recent than the first iPhone, 2007. And Judge Peck issued his first opinion endorsing TAR, technology-assisted review, just 8 years ago in 2012. Two, although we've undergone amazing changes, they are continuing to gain momentum. 20 years ago, the profession started using email. Now we use e-signatures, tech-assisted review, automated workflows, blockchain, chatbot, RPA. Some of us still remember when the main technology used for communicating with outside counsel was the telephone with a cord, because that was much faster than snail mail. And for some of us, the fax machine was a magical technological advancement. Change has taken a while to get going, but it's gaining momentum that feeds on itself. Change is often exponential. In technology, computing power, data proliferation, and data storage have all increased exponentially. You can see by the chart. As a cloud data service business, NetApp is hyper aware of all of this. In fact, changes accelerate exponentially, not in a linear fashion, as many of you know. COVID is a grim reminder of how that works. In the NetApp legal department, we have gone from 3 technologies to 24 technologies in the past 10 years. Half were implemented in just the last 3 years. If the trend had been linear, would have followed that dotted line, and we would have only implemented 11 technologies by now. 2018 saw an unprecedented increase of investment in the legal tech market, an increase of 700% from the previous year. That's crazy. I haven't seen year-over-year totals for 2019, but by the end of Q3 2019, investment had already reached $1.2 billion, and most of the experts expect 2019 numbers to exceed 2018. This is what we used to think of as the legal ecosystem: law firms and corporations, nothing else. In-house legal departments went to law firms for everything. Now that mindset and those choices have shifted drastically. Our need and our expectation to drive efficiencies, as well as enable the business and provide great legal services, are drivers of many of these changes. This is what the legal system looks like now. There are lots more moving parts, lots more options, lots different ways to purchase legal services. We're expected now to run our own legal departments like a business, and that's relatively new. We're data-driven. We have more than just law firms to lean on and to partner with. In fact, the T-shaped lawyers graduating now need to be able to speak the language of the business as well as law. This is the new legal ecosystem, and it's growing. A couple of the new entrants, law schools, are beginning to make substantial progress and are gaining a significant interest in digitalization. The Big Four, another big group entering legal ecosystem, can afford to hire a lot of top talent, and they have amassed some of the largest global legal organizations in the world. Some of the Big Four also invest over $1 billion annually on technology research and development. Tech providers are expanding exponentially. Many are owned by VCs, and the VCs run their businesses at a much different speed. And that has a trickle-down effect on the pace and adoption of legal technology within our in-house departments. Alternative legal service providers provide options in terms of the pricing model, and they are starting to be called law companies as they are not alternative any longer. In this new landscape, the customer has lots of options. Finally, a great deal of legal work is process-driven, and with that, it means that it can be redesigned and fully automated. And one of the final trends that we're seeing is that outside counsel spend is being migrated to in-house. We're seeing an increase of a 10% increase year over year of in-house legal departments and legal spend. Legal operations is already helping to drive the change. In 2010, I was telling you that NetApp had 3 technologies. One of them was the Microsoft Suite, Excel, PowerPoint, and Word. And now, of course, we have 24 technologies. It has digitally transformed not only the legal department, though, but it's also helping to digitally transform the entire enterprise. We talked about exponential growth, and I'm going to just put an exclamation point on that because, again, half of these technologies were added in the last year, and because of the exponential growth of the technologies within the industry, the technologies work better, they're on more modern platforms, and they're much more simple and have an easier user interface. I'm going to speak for a moment on a particularly important technology. It's our TAP technology, and what it is an automated workflow. This one technology has changed how the enterprise does business. It is with this technology that we experienced a number of unintended consequences. And when I say unintended consequences, I mean good unintended consequences. Because legal is the last frontier in terms of adopting technology and digitizing our business, legal is in the unprecedented position of having a wide range of choices of very modern technology. So most of the legal technologies sit on cutting edge platforms. That, interestingly enough, can be rolled out across the entire business, not just in legal. And as you can see from the workflows listed, there are 8 different organizations now leveraging this particular legal technology to create efficiencies and to enable their piece of the business. Because of the exponential growth in technology and the rise of legal operations, lawyers are getting good at identifying and implementing technology. So interesting now when the IT organization at NetApp is looking to organizations within the business to beta test new technology, they're now coming to legal. So we've been asked to test new technology like the chatbot or the robotic process automation technology, RPM, and other cutting edge technologies. This unintended consequence gets us, here's another piece. The unintended consequence gets us much closer to our internal business customers. When you are redesigning a process, you have to understand exactly how the process works. And as we become more familiar with our business partners, we are better service providers. The impact is real. So as you can see, we had a $6.8 million savings year over year, 72 workflows throughout the enterprise, 8 different business units, and 55,000 transactions. This is the language of the business. It's not digital transformation, however, without a digital culture. Machines don't care. They aren't sentimental or resistant to change or inconsistent. The real challenge in digital transformation is human behavior. Tools with no user adoption are just prototypes. The COVID pandemic is forcing a lot of cultural change in a very, very small amount of time. Even though it's not the way we have chosen, we have proven to be able to make significant change in a very efficient and quick process. If you're part of a team creating legal technology and looking to contribute to digital transformation, your people and approach need these success factors too. Take the time to explicitly address culture and culture change, both within your own team and with your customers and with your end users. It's a critical investment that you can't afford to neglect. This cultural change may require investments in areas you might not expect. On McKinsey's detailed list of 21 key success factors, number 4 is establish a clear change story. At the legal team, within the legal team at NetApp, a couple of our most recent talent additions have been strategic communications and a full-time project management role. That is not a coincidence. That is very purposeful. These roles help us get stuff done and help us to communicate more effectively with the stakeholders who are involved, which all help to drive what we're calling the cultural change, and which is so critical to any kind of technology or digital transformation. Here's an updated version of the classic World War II British slogan, keep calm and prioritize. You can't do everything at once, so take stock before you take action. Start with what is critical and easy and has a big ROI. Then work your way down the list, one bite at a time. The most critical piece of advice that I can give is to just start. Digital transformation has a compound interest effect. You can't catch up if you start late. Another tip, embrace imperfection and continuous improvement, which are difficult asks for the lawyer personality. Get started, make mistakes, share your mistakes with others, and tweak as you go. Create something that's good enough, then improve upon it. It's okay to put up a pardon our dust sign as you remodel and redesign processes, as long as you clean it up at the end. Simplify. People want technology to make their lives more simple. Our instant NDA tool has been completely overhauled at least a dozen times, always with the goal of making the interface more simple for our end users, while adding additional functionality under the hood. Share successes and failures. As the Waves website says, and it's so apropos here, get the best route in real time with help from fellow drivers. Fight the lawyerly instinct to not share your mistakes, especially now. With all the new technology out, we don't have time to learn anything the hard way twice. Remember, sharing failures is a form of paying it forward, and a rising tide lifts all boats. What the medical community is doing with COVID is a very good role model with respect to sharing wins and lessons. This is an unprecedented time with unprecedented challenge. Digital transformation is the way forward, and the Codex community has a really unique opportunity to be part of that transformation. I invite you to use whatever skills and resources you have to help build a better world. Be well. Thanks for having me. I hope to see you all in person soon.